back in, because I don't know where I'm getting my information.
Through Timeline Theater and also.
What is your favorite window?
It is so frightening, the camera, sometimes.
Right?
My favorite timbal or my favorite window?
Window. Any window in the world.
Hublot.
What?
Hublot is the round tables. Hublot.
Oh.
It's the round tables on ships.
I see.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm confused.
You said a window.
Is that oh, that's what the, oh, I think it's the round tables.
No.
My bad. You look like John Lennon right now. I don't know what it is.
So, not John Lennon. Hublot. Now I'm frightening the camera.
This part first, because I really like, you know the mirror, can you see it? You can see the fan in it.
Can you?
Yes.
I can't. I have to like.
Do you want to move?
I'm taller.
The ceiling.
So.
So this is basically me asking you what your names are or what you like to be called, first of all, and something that you like doing in life.
Right. Oh wow. Loaded question right off the bat.
Either of you want to go first?
I'm gonna steal a thing that you guys might say. My name is Charlie, and I really enjoy writing. I'm currently
My name is Cameron, and I really like to do writing. What do you like to do?
My name's Chris. I like to watch movies. That's like all I do.
You know, you could also said writing.
No, but like I hate writing. Like I mean, I'm a writer, but like I hate writing because that's what everybody is.
Being a doctor to pursue writing.
I was never a doctor. No, I was never a doctor. I would make that abundantly
You got
clear.
into med school.
I did not.
You bet your future possibly being a doctor.
That is true.
You're writing a sitcom about how you could have been a doctor, but instead you chose to be a writer.
Correct.
It's not a sitcom. It's an hour.
An hour-long sitcom.
It's basically a sitcom. I'm not kidding.
Okay, thank you. Now, I would like to ask each and every one of you to share with the camera a fact that you've been obsessed about, a knowledge that you like ranting on and nobody wants to listen to it, something that you deeply want to share.
A strange fact.
Extremely.
A strange fact that I know is, I believe on pencils, you know how it says like number 2? Like it has the number 2 on it? The reason for that, it refers to the type of lead that is in the pencil. Number 2 pencils are slightly harder lead than number 1 pencils. Apparently number 1 pencils are really good for like art and like shading. I've never used a number 1 pencil, and that might not be true, but I've been saying it since like freshman year of high school. So, there you go.
Thank you.
Oh, okay, I got it. So this probably is going to be well known in film circles, but oh my god, the director of Fitzcarraldo.
Oh, Werner Herzog.
Werner Herzog and Klaus Kinski. Herzog was a famous director in the
Are you
70s.
doing the?
Yes, I am. And he made he made a documentary called My Best Fiend.
I know this one.
Do you want to share it?
No, please.
No, why don't you share it?
No, I just.
He made a documentary called My Best Fiend about his time on set with Klaus Kinski. The two of them had known each other for practically all of Herzog's life. Herzog and Kinski lived in the same apartment, and the complex was meant for 3 families, but it probably fit 9. And one day Kinski locked himself in the bathroom for 3 days and broke every single piece of porcelain over there over the 3 days, so when they returned, everything was shattered and turned to dust. They later worked on movies together, with Kinski playing this messianic character, and Herzog attempting to capture his mania, his anger. So Kinski was a big fan of the dramatics, so if attention didn't go on him, then it was unacceptable to him. One day, when they were filming in the jungle, one of the crew members got bitten by a venomous snake and cut off his own arm to survive. Kinski was so mad that the attention was taken from him that he spilled coffee and started screaming at everybody around him for spilling coffee on him. It got so bad on the filming that the native people they were filming with and using as extras offered to kill Kinski for Werner Herzog. this is alleged, right? This is what Kinski claimed. Kinski claimed that Herzog used a gun to keep him on set and tell him that you're finishing this goddamn movie. And I think that everybody should know that. And they continue to make like 2 more movies together.
Thank you.
Oh, real?
Yes.
That's great.
Allegedly.
I just.
Alleged.
Herzog was crazy. Like something
Or
that he did that he-
Kinski.
Well, Kinski was really crazy, but
Was
Herzog,
absolutely-
Herzog was also crazy. They're both crazy.
I just watched The White Diamond.
hell yeah.
Oh, so fucking good. That was my first Herzog. I gotta watch the rest.
Fitzcarraldo.
I have the Herzog.
Fitzcarraldo, I think, is the one where
collection.
the
that I watched.
native people decided to threaten to kill Kinski.
Hell yeah.
Well, because I think
Such
that
a pain in the
I think that he like tried to hit one of the actors with a
several
shovel and kill. Yeah.
Several times. You threatened.
Yeah. The only thing that saved the guy was the fact that the helmet was strong enough that because it was actual costume prop wear instead of something cheaply made.
Kinski also played Nosferatu in Herzog's 1979.
Like Nosferatu.
Yeah. The new one or the new one's good too.
I like the new one. Wow.
Second act sucks. The ending is excellent.
Anyway,
Okay.
Chris.
Wrong. All right. Me.
Yes, you.
I kind of like the connection between our sight and taste. You can look at any surface in here, and without ever having licked it or ever wanting to lick it, you know exactly what that surface will feel like on your tongue. It's like the craziest phenomenon. Like you look at the ceiling. If you imagine licking it, you know exactly what it would feel like on your tongue. It's a remarkable thing that the brain does.
It's a remarkable thing that you guys are thinking right now about how your tongue, you can feel it in your mouth. Did you know that you have to control your breathing right now?
Fuck you. Eat shit.
Thank you. One last question, and this time it changed because I was commanded a new question at the end. My question will be, what is your favorite window?
Okay. So in Dayton, Ohio, there is, right next to the Gem City Cat Cafe across the street, a wall of glass bricks that curves. So when you look at it, reflected in the sunlight, like around afternoon time, it's either afternoon or morning, depending on where the sun is. I forget where the sun rises and sets in that area. It'll glitter so deeply that it leaves this reflection onto the ground of the glass bricks. Absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
Do you guys need a second?
Well, I guess I don't know if it's my absolute favorite window, but the first window that comes to my mind, last year my dad and I stayed in a lighthouse for a couple nights on Lake Erie in Wisconsin. I forget what exact town it was in, but you could climb up the lighthouse and there were like...
Lake Erie in Wisconsin.
No, not Lake Erie, Superior. Wait,
Where's
yeah.
the lighthouse?
So sorry, I forget. I could look it up, but...
I need to know where this lighthouse is.
Anyways, so, yeah, you could climb up, and there were, like, circular windows. Are those portholes? If they're not on a ship?
I think they're portals if they're on a ship.
Yeah, okay, so porthole-style windows, but not a porthole. And yeah, you could look out over the lake. Really cool. I think a big part of why I like it is because it was in a lighthouse, and not many windows are in lighthouses, but yeah, that'll be my answer.
Can I change my answer?
Thank you. You can. Can we listen to Chris's answer first?
Please.
We're still deciding.
No, I figured it out.
I'm sorry.
And the restaurant floor, which is like about 13 or 14 stories up in the Sheraton Hotel in Niagara Falls, is the only place in the entire joint that has a perfect view of the falls. And so yeah, the whole shebang. It's a beautiful view. I love Niagara Falls. You know, it's very close to my home, so that's my favorite window. Is that wall of windows in that restaurant.
Thank you. Did you want to share your change?
Yeah. There's a semi-broken piece of glass brick in not a lighthouse in Chicago. It's kind of a lighthouse. I don't know if it qualifies though. It's right off of the Chicago River, somewhere in Lincoln Park, and it's this little pseudo lighthouse that you used to be able to access. And if you went to the top floor of it, there was the smallest brick. And you'd look out at night and you'd see the Chicago streets and see the cars passing by. And you see the refraction of the glass brick onto whatever face was like hearing it. And really nice.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you so much for doing this. Could you both tell me your names in order how you like being called? Introduce yourself and maybe share something that you like doing in life.
Okay, I guess I'll go first. I'm Mary. What do I like to do? I like to do film photography.
Nice.
I don't understand technology, so it's much better to do that than digital.
My name's Akanksha. What do I like to do? I like knitting. That's something I've started trying to learn recently. Trying to get into knitting, making a scarf. So yeah.
Cool, thank you. So now if you would like to share a knowledge that you have, a fact, anything that you've been either obsessed with or that you'd like to rant about or that you'd like to share. Something that you learned recently.
I don't remember if I remember this correctly because it's been like probably 2 years since I heard this fact, but in Loch Ness there's some kind of like fish or species that like predates the Ice Age that is in there, and it's the ugliest looking thing, and it looks like it's like all teeth, but it's super cool that it's there because I'm like, what? But yeah.
I took a class last quarter about like religion and like religion as a science, and I feel like that's something I've been talking about a lot with my friends, and we've been talking about how like religion is probably like our founding of science and asking questions and trying to find answers to that. It's just that we've switched from looking for those answers in God and like the unknown to looking for like those answers in facts and data. And I don't know, I think that's something cool because I feel like when you think of religion and science, we keep it so separate. But to think that at some point people view religion and science as like a one steady concept.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot for sharing that. I used to have another question, but I was commanded this one, so this will be the question I ask now.
Okay.
What is your favorite window?
Window?
Oh my god. I have so many favorite windows, I have to say. I think like fancy wise, it would definitely have to be like stained glass windows on old Gothic cathedrals. But they have to be kind of like dilapidated and more of like the darker colors, not like the super bright ones or like rosy ones. And then like everyday window would be those like ones in like Greece or something, or like France, where they like open from the middle and they have like the multiple panes. I love those windows so much. Oh my gosh,
That's a nice one.
they're so good.
Yeah. I like bay windows, like a big window with a seating in front of it, because I like watching out the windows and like seeing what people are doing. So any window with like a busy street. I live in an apartment that looks over the red line and it has big windows, so I like looking right out and waving to people and like seeing what everyone's up to. So my favorite kind of windows are a window with like a people watching view.
That's a
Yeah.
good one.
Thank you so much, guys.
Of course.
Do you have any windows tattooed on you?
Huh?
Do you have any windows tattooed on you?
I somewhat have a window tattooed on me. I mean, I have like a steeple tattooed on me. I guess it has windows on it.
Yeah.
So I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. So hi, thank you so much for doing this. Could we just start by, can you tell me either your name or a name that you like being called?
My name is Jack.
Nice to meet you. What is something that you like doing in life?
I like to read. I like to play basketball.
Okay, cool. What do you like to read?
I like reading history books.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool, fancy. Okay, cool. Well, my first question, there's two questions basically after this one. My first question would be, could you share with us something that you've learned recently, or a fact that you're obsessed about, or something that you really want to rant to people about,
Oh, okay.
that you would like to share with us?
Um, so, okay, one thing that I've been thinking about a lot recently that is kind of interesting is like, so one way, so there, I was reading about this dude named Tycho Brahe, okay, and he basically kind of like proved that all the previous ideas of like about about how the universe was organized, like a geocentric model, was false, and like I'm butchering this, but the way he did it, and it's really the way he did it was this thing called he measured the parallaxis, which is like the way something that you're looking at shifts when you put it in front of your face and like look at it from one eye to the other eye, and you can measure like the distance that it shifts, and so something that is farther away will have less of a shift than something's close up. So like you can do this with your hands. If you put your finger close to your face, you see that shift. If you do it like that, there's much less of a shift. And so everyone, a lot of people, I guess, the general consensus was that like all the stars were the same distance from the Earth, and it was just like a shell around the Earth. And he was like, no, they're actually different distances from each other, because he built equipment to measure the parallaxis. So that's something that I don't know. It just blew my mind when I learned about that. It seems like a simple way to prove something that is like so big, I guess.
Cool, thank you so much for sharing this. One second question, and that wasn't my original question, but now it is. I've been demanded to ask that question today. What is your favorite window?
Window.
Yes.
My favorite window. I like the window in my apartment because I've cultivated a bunch of ivy to grow across it, and so like when the sun is shining on it, it has a nice green glow in my apartment.
Nice. I have a follow-up question for the ivy. I was told that because of how dry it is, there's a lot of spiders when you have inside ivy. Is there a lot of spiders?
I haven't noticed any spiders.
Okay. Good. Good to know. Okay, cool. I'm ending this just in case. Is there something you would like to share with the camera that I haven't asked about? That you wish you were asked about?
No.
Cool.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Are you recording?
I am.
I'm going to talk like this the entire time because it feels dramatic.
Okay. Thank you for that. I wanted to ask you, what do you write?
I write psychological thrillers.
Ooh, okay. So you don't write theater?
No. I wrote theater when I was younger in high school. I wrote an entire play and then I used it to apply to a bunch of schools, and it was so bad that I got rejected by all of them. And that was not because I switched my voice message to something a little bit heinous. Certainly not. I actually got a voice message from one of the colleges I applied to about how awful my voice message was. Because I had a few friends in the background like screaming, like it was a horror movie. Mm-hmm. And I said, "This is Cameron, come back to the phone later. I'm not available right now." It was like really cheesy horror music. I liked themed voice messages back then.
Okay, that explains.
Sorry, I nearly choked on my water.
Okay. So, is there a fact, a knowledge, something you've learned recently you would like to share?
Oh, something. I don't learn many things. It's pretty stupid. I'm trying to think through. A lot of film sets in Chicago require so generators when you're shooting outside and you're trying to use lights, you need a generator. And on a lot of shoots in Chicago, they have to lock their generators to the trucks that they use to bring the equipment in because generators are one of the most common things that are stolen off of a film set. And that's really bad because if you don't have electricity, none of your lights work.
Oh no.
And you can't shoot anything exterior.
Oh, that is okay. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a...
Yeah. And since you already told me about your favorite window twice.
Sorry.
No, it's good. No, don't apologize. I'm going to ask you another question, which is a hard one. It's going to be, what if you had one wish for the world?
One wish for the world.
You can be as dramatic as you want. You can be as serious as you want. You can be as silly as you want.
I wish to spend my life never working unless I want to. There.
Thank you. Is there something you would like to share to the camera that you were frustrated was not asked?
Frustrated with?
Was not asked. That was not asked.
Frustrated was not asked.
That you would want to share.
I don't usually go into interviews thinking what, oh God, I will hate this interviewer if she does not ask me this one thing. How was my day?
How was your day?
Oh my God, it was awful. It was awful, I tell you. No, it was great. I'm a little bit nervous because I have an audition tomorrow for a class, not anything special, because I'm taking a casting class, and we didn't want to have to bring in actors from outside of the class, so we're doing it in class, and I'm not an actor, but I got a call back because I read the script dramatically. I kind of read it so that I wouldn't get the part because I didn't want to deal with being called back. And I guess that backfired because I was loud and confident. Do you know what's great about this camera?
What?
I can, in the middle of the interview, do a Jim Halpert. You ever seen The Office?
Okay, thank you.
I drank too much water on accident.
I don't know. Do you want some? Like a walk down.
Exactly. Hi.
Hey, what's going on?
I was told that maybe you would be willing to talk to the camera.
Hell yeah.
Yes?
Yes, absolutely.
Cool. Hi.
Hi.
My name is Madeline.
Nice to meet you, Madeline. I'm Quentin. Should I talk to you or the camera?
Let's try to make it both. Are you
Okay.
talking between me and the camera at the same time?
Okay, no, just in terms of eye line. Where you want me.
Where you feel more comfortable?
I can look wherever you want me to look. I'm an actor, so I can
Wow.
do
Okay,
whatever.
then you can work to a camera directly and feel comfortable.
Okay, cool.
Cool. Cool. Thank you so much.
Of course.
Could you introduce yourself by telling me what you like doing?
Yeah, I really love writing. I love reading, although I don't read as much as I used to. watch a lot of movies, listen to a lot of music, as most people do. I don't know. I enjoy sharing art with friends. I think is the biggest thing for me. That is my favorite thing to do.
Cool. Thank you for that. Can I ask what you like writing and what you like reading?
Yeah, I used to read a lot of fantasy. I've been getting more into like realistic fiction. I'm reading Play It As It Lays by Joan Didion right now. And I write screenplays, typically, that are very fictionalized versions of my life, because it's cheaper than going to therapy.
Okay. Thanks for that. Could you share with us something that either you learned recently, or knowledge that you have, or facts that you're obsessed about, and that you would like to rant about, or just simply share?
Oh, yeah. So I am allergic to nickel, the metal, and I also have piercings. And I recently found out that hypoallergenic jewelry does not need, or nickel-free jewelry does not actually need to lack nickel in order to call itself nickel-free. It just means it has a negligible amount of nickel, which is negligible. I don't know who for, because I wore some nickel-free jewelry recently, and my ears freaked the fuck out. So I don't know what to do about that. I don't know who to talk to, because apparently this is just an open secret that all the nickel-free jewelers are fucking lying. And that really pisses me off, but it means I need to buy nicer jewelry, which is like nice for me, but not nice for my wallet. So.
Okay,
yeah.
wow. Crazy.
Yeah, fucked up.
Oh. Okay, so the next question was brought by someone who I was asking questions to.
Okay.
How was your day?
My day was good. I woke up not when I wanted to, but I didn't beat myself up over it. I made some stuff here. I went to class. I went to class on time. I performed a piece that I had written. It was a Mad Libs intervention for a stuffed animal that I asked everyone to give me a really stupid name for, and they yelled out my name, Quentin, which was fun, but a little on the nose what I was going for. And then I just got off of rehearsal for a show I'm doing about a debate that happened in 1963 between William Buckley and James Baldwin at Cambridge University. And I'm gonna be in it for the next 6 weeks, and it like actually went really well, even though I feel vastly not overshadowed. I feel incredibly intimidated by all the incredible talented people around me, but also like I didn't shit my pants, so clearly I'm doing something right. So yeah, thank you.
Cool. Okay. Last question of the day that was not an option for me to ask. I was demanded to ask that question.
Okay.
What is your favorite window?
My favorite window, I was warned about this, and I was thinking about it. The only one that comes to mind is the window from my childhood bedroom. Probably because of nostalgia, but also just because it looked out onto my street that I used to live on, Churchill Place in Clarendon Hills, Illinois, and the entire window was surrounded by ivy. Like I couldn't see out of it during the summer, which was kind of sick. Like every day I would wake up, sunlight would stream in, and I would see ivy. I would see green, and I don't get that anymore. I don't get to be in nature as much as I'd like to. But when I was growing up, I got to look out and see all the houses of all my neighbors that I loved, and also feel like I was surrounded by nature, which was pretty sick. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you so much for that. And to finish up and wrap up the conversation, is there something that you wish I had asked, or something that you would want to share to the camera, or something you're frustrated that I didn't ask?
Something that I'm frustrated that you didn't ask. However, I would like to share. It is okay to not be friends with your ex, but it's okay to take time for yourself, and it's also okay after you've taken that time to become friends with them again. And it can be kind of a beautiful, weird, scary thing, but such is life.
Thank you so much for that.
Hello.
Thanks for doing this.
Happy to be here.
Do you want to share how your day was to start?
Yeah, sure. That's kind of standard, a bit boring. I woke up a bit, I set like 5 alarms, woke up like an hour later after all of them. Frantically finished the homework I had due today while on the train. Had a cup of coffee, my crippling caffeine addiction. Then I went to class, and me and my friends both joked about and complained about all the things that we don't like about the. I don't know where I left off. Should I start over?
You can start your day over.
Start my day over. Set several alarms this morning.
Yeah.
Still woke up like an hour after them. And then apart from my morning routine, quickly finished up all the homework I had due today on the train. Had class, and then me and my friends dished about like what we don't like about the class after the fact. And then I came here to enjoy a sandwich that I enjoyed.
Okay.
Like sandwiches.
Cool. What do you study?
What do I study?
Yeah, what's the class? What's the homework?
Oh, the homework I had due today was a class I have tomorrow. I was writing on assignment. In that class, on week 1, we pulled a bunch of pieces of paper out of a hat, which gave us a genre, a budget, an actress, and a profession. And I got a film noir starring Michelle Williams for $10 million. And a DJ. So I've been working on plot lines, major plot points for a indie budget noir film.
Okay,
and
nice.
I've been watching a lot of like old classic film noir films, really leaning into the tropes.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice. So, was there a fact, a knowledge, something you learned recently that you wanted to rant about, that you wanted to share?
God, if I were to be topical, it's the Oscar nominations. I don't like them. I disagree with them.
Okay.
But like most people do, but I'm not really the one to disagree with them.
Can you tell me what you would have done?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot more like proper artistic films with like better visions that didn't get nominated or got underappreciated. I think it's all political anyway. You know, producers will like pay off the Oscar voters to. I could rant about the.
Let's make it a fact. So a fact that you're obsessed about.
A fact.
Or a knowledge.
No, I'm obsessed about. I think knowledge is ridiculous. I think ignorance is bliss. I wish I didn't have a developed brain. Life would be so much easier.
Okay.
Okay, a fact. Fun fact, perhaps, or fact. I'm overthinking it. I can't think of anything. Brain's gone to mush.
Have you learned something amazing?
Nothing new.
Nothing new. Have you learned something old? Can be a wisdom also.
Oh God.
Or the contrary of a wisdom.
Oh yeah. Contrary wisdom. I think finding happiness is a lot more important than sticking with shit that sucks. Don't do shit that sucks. I learned that the hard way. And sometimes you have to learn it the hard way. Yeah.
So learn from the shit that you did that you shouldn't have done.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
And since you did the window question already.
The window question, yes.
I'm going to ask you, if you had one wish for the world,
Yeah?
Yes.
One wish.
One wish. What would it be?
Oh God.
Horrible question.
God, I said one wish is way too. I have about 50, and I'm trying to decide which ones. Anywhere from like, hey, stop killing each other to believe climate science to actually start liking each other. Get off social media. Get off the internet. And stop listening to digitally made music, and listen to music and look at art made by real people.
Okay.
Doing real stuff.
Cool. Thank you.
I feel like I'm a terrible interviewee.
No, you're not. You're a very good one. There's an awkwardness to the camera Marie thing, and I also don't help with it because I'm very calm when I ask my questions. So then there's a lot of space for you. We can make you feel awkward, but that's okay.
I'm always awkward regardless.
Okay.
Regardless
Well,
of camera or not.
Well, good to know. And then I want to ask you, is there something you would like to share on camera that I haven't asked you about?
I don't know. It's hard to say.
Okay.
I'm sure I could think of something, but it will be like hours too late. I'll probably think of something hours from now.
Okay.
Something like real, but on the
Fair
spot.
enough. Fair enough. Thank you very much for coming back for the interview.
Thank you for having me. Again.
We're all just like polished feel like they were upper management.
Right.
Were.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. Are you really not like?
Hi.
Hi.
Thanks for doing this. Could you tell me your name or a name that you like being called?
I'm Michelle.
My name is Andrew.
Nice to meet you. Can you tell me a bit about yourself by telling me something that you like doing?
What I'm doing? Damn, do you have any interests or hobbies anymore? No, I'm playing. You go first.
Oh, okay. I like to swim. And I like to hike and just generally be outdoors. Yeah. What about you? And you can't use mine.
I have to like define my entire character with one hobby.
Yeah.
No, you can say as many as you want, and you can describe. You're good.
Okay. I guess I like to do art. I like to do art.
Okay. What kind of art?
I do horror art. Like, if you've ever heard of, like, Junji Ito, or like Eroguro type art, that's kind of like, it's like a Japanese style of art that's like, there are like a lot of themes of like sex, but then it's like themes of horror, so it's like the extremes of humanity, but like all put into like one art style. That's like the type of art that I would make. Yeah.
Cool, super cool. Okay. Could you guys tell me one knowledge or fact or something that you learned recently that you're either obsessed about or that you want to share or that you want to rant about?
You should.
That's a good
Do you want
question.
to go first, or I feel like we have a lot of knowledges that we talk about every day.
Yeah. I guess what would be something interesting?
Yeah. What's like your one knowledge that you would want to share with the world?
It has to be one that you want to share. Like, it doesn't have to be the most interesting thing ever.
It's your message. It's your intellectual message to the
Are you
world.
sure I should go first?
Yeah.
I feel like you know more things than me, though.
That's not true. Go first.
What can I say that's interesting? Well, what can I say that I would say?
Doesn't have to be interesting. It's what you think is important. I'm just playing.
I recently read this like essay on why there are no 400 investors left. 400 is like a baseball statistic for batting 40% of the pitches that are pitched to you. The idea is that in the 20th century, it was very common to see exceptional investors like Warren Buffett who outperformed markets using what we call value investing. which means investing in a business for that is, how can I say? It's when you can buy the business for less than what it's actually worth because the market undervalues it. This is becoming rarer. There's a couple of things going on there, both economic and something that's happening in the job market, which is that things are becoming more competitive. This is interesting because kind of the same thing happened with baseball as well, where it was really common for pitchers, or for hitters, it wasn't really common, but pretty much 400 level batters don't exist anymore. It's more common if you're an exceptional batter to be like 250, 240. And what happened was, it wasn't so much that batters were getting worse, batters were in fact getting better and taking their steroids, but it was that pitchers were getting better and fielders were getting better, and so the game sort of evolved. So it started to, I guess, make me think about how competition is evolving, you know, not just in like business, like capitalism or in sport, but, you know, kind of like the wider human network. You know, all of society is competitive in such a way that it shapes, it kind of changes the way that you can be successful in the future. I often think about this in the context of my parents, where the things that they did made them successful due to their own like social and historical circumstances, where if I repeated it, I don't think I'd see the same kind of success. Yeah.
Thank you. Cool.
I'm sure not a lot of people sit in the bourgeois pig and talk to you about capitalism, but
everybody shares something that they're specific about, but all
that's
the
just
answers are different.
the last essay that I read, so. Okay, you go now. Got it.
So like my one knowledge. My job is actually it's kind of funny because my job's actually in economics, but I learn like new things about economics every day, but like that's not like the most recent fact that really impressed me that I really want to share to the world is not a fact in economics. It's actually a fact about space. Wait, but I actually need help because Jack, how long does it take?
Checking out recording or something.
You know what I'm talking about, like for the space station to go around the Earth? How long does it take to go around?
Was it like 45 minutes?
Yes. Did you know that it takes the space station to go around the Earth? It only takes 45 minutes. The entire Earth. So SpaceX, right? Like they're trying to use like spaceships and rocket ships to like ship cargo around the world, right? So you could ship something like from the U.S. to like China, instead of it taking like 15 hours, it'll only take like 20 minutes. If people sit on rocket ships, like passenger rocket ships, it'll only take like 30 minutes. Isn't that crazy? That blew my mind. That's more interesting than economics. Anyway, that's my
90
knowledge.
minutes.
90 minutes.
90 minutes.
It wasn't 45.
Pretty good.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
It's still really crazy. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
One added question that was introduced by me by somebody who answered questions here was, how was your day?
Do you want to go first?
About my day?
I went first last time.
Okay. My day was okay. If I'm gonna be honest, I was a little tired. I'm like having a hard time figuring out how to like rest properly. Like you go to sleep, but you wake up and you don't feel rested. But it's good in the grand scheme of things.
Thank you. What about you?
My day was good. It had some good news for me, which was cool. But it was mostly boring. And I ate food that was just very bad for me. So I've been feeling kind of bad. Just junk food all day. But otherwise good.
What'd you eat?
A hamburger, which, you know, sounds harmless.
I like your audience. Like, what'd you eat?
I ate a hamburger, and then there was like a Lunar New Year celebration at work, so I ate terrible food, so I ate just a hamburger, like these like pork buns, these Chinese pork buns, like sesame that's filled with like red bean and boba, so like milk tea. So that's all I've eaten today. No vegetables, no fruits.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And last question for you today. I do not have a choice about this question. I was ordered to ask it. But it's a very good question. What is your favorite window?
Type of window?
Or window in singular? Like, is there one window that you love more than the other? It can be a type of window too.
Metaphorical window? What's your favorite metaphorical window?
It's a tough question, actually.
You're actually only allowed to answer what's your favorite metaphorical window. You're not allowed to answer.
No. I don't know how to agree with that rule.
Metaphorical windows.
I like that I have to give you a hard time.
God, window. I like that question. Though.
Is there a window that you remember, love?
There's a window in my parents' house where I grew up that you can open up, and from that window you can climb up onto the roof. And I always liked doing that growing up. I always liked getting up on the roof. Yeah, I like that window.
Cool, thank you.
I really like that, actually.
Yeah.
That's a good answer to that question. Yeah. Okay. I have something to, I guess, like build off. I'm gonna copy them a little bit. Oh no. So there's this window inside. Well, it's not really a window. I have back in my house in California where I grew up. There's like we have a glass door to the backyard. And through the glass door, like when it's like a sunny day, there's like a line of like sunshine that like, I don't know, it shines. And when I was like a kid during summer vacations, like I would like lay there and like absorb all like the sun rays.
Like a cat?
Yeah, like a cat. It would be like my sunspot window. I think that's my favorite window. It's not technically a window, it's technically a door, but it's also technically a window. Right, it counts. Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. And to wrap up this interview, is there something you would like to share with the camera that you feel I should have asked, that you wanted to share with the camera in general, or you're frustrated I did not ask about?
No, not really, honestly. I feel like...
No frustration on my end.
Yeah, honestly, I probably wouldn't be sharing information with the camera, so it's kind of nice to be asked questions. You
Okay.
know? Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for this.
Cool. This is fun. Yeah. It's cool.
Hi. Thanks so much for doing this.
Thank you.
So could you start by introducing yourself?
Yes, I'm Karim.
Cool.
I'm a regular here, like almost obsessively so. Come here every day. I am Egyptian. I've lived in Chicago now for about a year as a student at Urbana-Champaign. So I'm more used to Champaign than I am Illinois, than I am Chicago. But I really like Chicago. Bourgeois Pig is a large reason why I like Chicago.
Okay, cool. Is there something that you like doing?
Reading. I enjoy reading.
What do you read?
I think I'm a pretty wide range reader. I particularly enjoy like history, but it's also like a specific type of history. It's like almost like critical history, whether written in English or Arabic. I speak Arabic a little bit better than I speak English. That's been a choice, or like something I've tried to maintain, cultivate. So I read a lot of Arabic. These books in Arabic.
What are you reading?
I'm reading. It's called في أثر عنايات الزيات, and this is a little bit niche, but عنايات الزيات was a writer who wrote one book called في الحب والصمت, I think, which is In Love and Silence, and she killed herself at 26. And then the writer of this book is narrating her story of crafting a autobiography for عنايات الزيات. I'm only like 25 pages in, so I haven't gone into like the flesh of the book, but it's also magical. Like the first 25 pages are really nice. I'm also really sleepy, so I can rant.
No, please be sleepy. It's fine. It's okay. Would you mind sharing with us a knowledge or fact that you've learned recently, or and that you're obsessed about that you would like to share?
Fact? God, I don't know. A fact that I've learned recently. I don't think I can recall one. It's a little bit. I don't have like fun facts. Off
They
the
don't
top
have to
of
be
my head.
fun. It also
They
can
have
be
to
something
fun.
you're obsessed about.
I was reading the Road to 9/11 by Peter Scott Dale, and I learned that basically baked into the Constitution is a certain mechanism for like continuity of governance, where in the case of national emergency, same way that it was declared in 9/11, Constitution can basically just be completely cast aside. All powers would be vested in two or three people, and they can take extraordinary measures. And the lever for that is actually that's the like surprising part. It's FEMA. FEMA, the like flood maps and like hurricanes and whatever. In 2001, post 9/11, they basically rounded up hundreds of thousands of undocumented migrants and suspects and everything. They rounded them up either to prisons or to mass deportations. And that's the same FEMA that I got my like flood hazard maps from to work as an engineer. I wouldn't have guessed that it was FEMA. The things like the Federal Emergency Management. I don't know. I don't remember exactly what it stands for, but now the book takes a little bit of conspiratorial view because that continuity of government act and like the powers that got vested into FEMA, that got eventually vested into like Cheney and some of the Rumsfeld and some of the other members of cabinet, occurred about like 6 months before 9/11, and a lot of the members that partook in 9/11 received special training, special visas, were put on watch lists, was so allowed by like special sanction into the United States, and the origins of Al Qaeda and the origins of all of the participants in 9/11 were part of like sort of a Pentagon CIA joint scheme to combat Soviet expansion. And so that's like the line that's taken. That's all well and good, and I think that's like commonly known. I was just surprised that it's FEMA who's going to be the lever arm for deporting 100,000 or more like undocumented migrants. Another fun fact is that Trump has been, for some reason, has been putting FEMA under scrutiny, which was surprising to me given everything I said, since he would probably want the legal cover to do that. I don't think he understands all the like mechanisms of government all that well, but yeah, he probably just doesn't fuck with like flood maps. Anyway, that's my fun fact.
Okay,
Heard
thank
something
you.
about like his cabinet saying he still doesn't know how a bill becomes a law.
Yeah.
Which is funny because we have a video for that. I don't know if you guys don't have School of Rock. Is it School of Rock?
Oh yeah.
You know the
yeah,
Bill song?
No, I mean he's like basically suspended. He's effectively like suspended government loans, which I don't know how like tomorrow I'm gonna wake up into an economy with no government loans. But
He's speedrunning the clown.
yeah.
I'm really
I do kind of respect him. Anyway, that's my fun fact. FEMA is a twisted organization.
Okay, good to know. Could you tell me just simply how your day was?
Today, it was quite exhausting. I don't know why. I work as an engineer, so I'm a structural engineer, and I work at an architecture firm. And I was quite productive in that I finished a good amount. I finished like beyond what I thought I would, but it just kept stretching and stretching and stretching, and I got more and more into like this drowsy, the day won't end type of feel. But then I got into that type of feel, and the day did keep going on, so that I ended up leaving at like 7:15. Should have probably left at like 6. Sorry. We'll recuperate tomorrow.
Cool. I do what you do. Do you have a good night's sleep?
I will get a good night's sleep. I am gonna go to the gym though, but
Okay. Yeah, important.
good night's sleep, like 6 hours. We'll get that. 7 hours, 6.5.
Okay, I hear you. So I was ordered to ask this question, and I've been doing it faithfully. What is your favorite window?
It's my favorite like type of window. Storefront.
Any window could be a singular window.
Yeah.
It could be a singular window. It could be
No,
a type.
I love storefront. Actually, no. I wrote like a dumbass tweet about this, but the CIA got me with like the storefront windows in vestibules in particular. Like this one like by the entrance over here. And if you go to like any of the wooden shop cafes or like brick and mortar like brick type cafes, old fashioned cafes. They always have a heated entrance, like a vestibule where you can like sort of just wait. And then they have a big storefront, like door-sized window that you can just stare into the street at. And I've done this way too many times. Coming out of a library or coming out of a cafe, I stand there for like 45 minutes just staring blankly. It's so, nothing gets or captures the same type of like peace as just staring out like a door in a nice heated environment, like a cold January, February, like evening. Especially in Champaign, that's in the main library and in like some of the older, again like classical like architecture type buildings, and the streets are long and narrow. So you just stare down like a long narrow street. I love those windows, and I don't love them because they basically eat my day, but I love them because the feeling is like unmatched.
Cool, thank you. Well, simply to wrap up this interview, is there something that you wish I would have asked that you wanted to share with the camera?
No, I feel like any question can be interesting enough. So I've never like had a particular question. I'm like, well, I hope they ask it. It's not like I'm on Tinder. It's like, yeah, please ask me about my height. I like the interviews where the question is like completely unexpected and not in your favor, sort of thing.
Do you have a suggestion?
A suggestion?
Of a question I could ask people?
Oh, like other people? I don't know, something I like the viewers to know. Tell me about, well, if people don't read that much, it would be an awkward question. I was gonna say, like, tell me about a book you enjoyed recently. And then every time I've asked someone that question, I like discover something unique about that person. It's quite nice, but also people sometimes don't enjoy reading that much. So it could be like a more open-ended question. Tell me of a book, movie, or something that you enjoy, and then let them speak about it.
Cool, thank you.
Of course. Thank you.
Yeah.
Shout out Kyle. Love Kyle.
Get clear. So before the camera turned on, I wanted to make it abundantly clear that this is not a rant. This is a rave. Ranting is inherently negative. Raving is inherently positive. So here I am raving about the beauty of cinematic editing. It is something that has obviously been worked on and revolutionized time and time again by every single GD artist that has come the way of the camera, as it were. And it's beautiful how just even single frames can make the biggest difference in the world when creating a piece of art. There's a documentary about how Star Wars was a shitty movie. It was a shitty movie that did not look good until it got into the editing studio. And they edited those frames ever so slightly perfectly to elicit an emotional reaction out of us, the audience, of excitement, of fear for our heroes, for, giddiness when they blew up the Death Star. It's things like that that make cinema beautiful, like that tiniest minute detail. And I'm not an editor, I'm a writer, but like you have to think about that. And I learned in an editing course, 24 frames per second. 24 frames per second is the frame rate in editing. And I can tell you, like, I once edited a video, is that like if someone talking and just lingers ever so slightly too long on them for just a frame second, we'll notice it. Our brain just clicks. It's like something's not right, something's off. All of a sudden it goes from like perhaps like a regular drama, someone doing like a dramatic monologue, to something more eerie, something more unsettling. All it has to do is linger a bit long. Too short, it can be funnier. From a drama to a comedy, you get cut off mid-sentence, you get something else happens. It's time in images, and we manipulate it. It's our way of manipulating time, and that's a beautiful thing. And I think if people can watch both movies that have try to emulate a long single shot, and then films that go for 200 cuts a minute, and you can still something beautiful about both of that, but you know what you're getting out of both of those, and I think that's great. I can't really think of anything else to talk about fun in front of the camera other than like cinema because the film because like that's my bread and butter. That's my meat and potatoes. But yeah, I can't imagine how it was back in the 70s when they were editing that stuff because like they had to be like a microscope and like an editing tool and they had to go through comb through like the long reels of cinema and find that exact frame to cut. And yet they got it done. And that's beauty. That's human ingenuity. I love digital editing software as someone who has used it, but that's true artistry to be actually like snipping and splicing footage like that.
Thank you so much.
Raving, not ranting. It's important to know.